Hello everyone. It's been a while since I've posted on the Raddest channel, so thought I'd get back into it because I hear an endless amount of crying from other contributors about how much they're carrying the channel and how their back is breaking on them. So to get back into it, I thought I'd start with a game that I think doesn't get the attention that it deserves. Very innovative and very Canadian. Radio General is a RTS, I guess, that follows the Canadian Army in World War II. The catch being that you don't see your men. You play the entire game from a general's tent, giving orders over the radio. You'll see the gameplay and you'll understand. Use NATO symbols instead of figurines. Oh yeah, and this is a game is supposed to be like realistic and educational, so they sell it to museums. I have played before, but it was a while ago, so I'm not gonna skip the tutorial. September 3rd, 1939. Britain and France declare war on Nazi Germany after the invasion of Poland. Britain calls upon its vast Commonwealth to aid them. Canada answers the call, sending thousands of sailors, airmen, and soldiers. You are a general in the Canadian Army under Montgomery's command. Your job is to lead hundreds of men into battle and triumph over a determined enemy. All you have is a radio and a map. Your job will not be easy. The game uses historical documents and video to provide context and tell the stories of soldiers who fought in the conflict.
On December 17, 1939, the first Canadians landed in Britain, vanguard of a great army. They came to finish the job that their fathers had begun a quarter of a century before. In June 1940 came the first call to action. In high spirits, they marched to the ships on their way to France, itching for a fight. Once across the Channel, the Canadians penetrated more than 200 miles. But with the tragic collapse of France came the order to return to Britain. In the dark days after Dunkirk, almost the only trained and equipped troops between Hitler and London were General MacNaughton's Canadians, who stood guard throughout those days of high tension. While hurricanes swept the sky, Canadian ack-ack batteries blazed at the Luftwaffe from the ground, playing their part in the Battle of Britain. And now the Canadians are preparing to rip through the Huns when the Allied War Council gives the signal for the cross-channel dash on the road to Berlin. The Canadians are ready. Zero hour is coming.
All right, there's our briefing. 1942. Dieppe raid. No way this can go wrong. Stalin has demanded a second front be opened. Canadian officers are eager to prove the worth of the Canadian Army. A daring raid on the French port town of Dieppe is ready. We attack in the morning. This is the tutorial mission, by the way. August 19th, 1942, Dieppe, France. And they include a bunch of historical documents you can take a look at, like propaganda. You slept well that night, didn't you? But George was at Dieppe. Work, save, and lend for victory. This color advertisement depicting a group of soldiers at Dieppe was published in the October 10th, 1942 issue of the Toronto Star. Welcome to Dieppe, location northern France. Features historic port town, seaside resort, pebbled beach, white chalky cliffs, heavily fortified coast, barbed wire, mines, traps, pillboxes. Named for its deep water, the town was used for fishing historically. During the Age of Exploration, Dieppe was known for its skilled cartographers and navigators. Prior to both World Wars, Dieppe was popularized as a seaside resort. Dieppe is a strategic target in wartime due to its port and strategic location in the English Channel. Historical pictures, Globe and Mail about Canada declaring war. With the Eastern Front going poorly, Stalin has demanded the opening of a second front. Canadian officers are eager to prove the worth of the Canadian Army and are preparing to fight the Germans. A daring raid on the French port town of Dieppe is ready. Canadian, British, and American forces attack in the morning. To achieve complete victory, or a complete surprise, no preemptive bombardments will be used. We expect the enemy to be unprepared and their defenses weak. Our troops will push inland, take the town, and fall back to the boats after the allotted time. This will be a decisive show of force and show the Germans that we mean business. You will command the flanks of the operation. Several commando units have been landed behind enemy lines. You must silence enemy guns and prevent any enemy forces from reaching Dieppe. Welcome to the first operation. Please read the mission briefing before continuing. Available units. Number 3 Commando. Available reserves, number 4 Commando. Support at 0900 naval guns of Her Majesty's Canadian ship Saskatchewan. Mission duration 45 minutes. Objectives: hold Dieppe and hold Noyville. Enemy strength: 200 to 400 light infantry, 1 artillery battery, no tanks. High chalky cliffs limit landable beach areas with low enemy numbers. They will most likely only be defending Dieppe. Stay calm, move quickly, and follow instructions. Start mission.
Here's you heard the general. Move out!
You can pan the camera. You can zoom using mouse scroll wheel. You are a general sitting in your tent. Your units are currently in France and are far away from you. An infantry company named Able has infiltrated enemy lines. However, since Able is far away from you, you can't interact with them directly. This figurine represents Able. It is not the unit itself, however it can be used to send orders to Able. You can view Able's stats by right-clicking on the figurine and clicking Unit Stats. 100 troops, morale at 100%, speed 6 kilometers an hour, defense 0, damage 0.55. The bottom left panel shows available commands. Detected commands are highlighted as you speak. Release spacebar to execute the topmost recognized command, or say clear to cancel. Everything done with voice commands can also be done by right-clicking unit figurines. Able. Report status.
Able, we're at November 9.
Left-click and drag Able's figurine. Figurines pulse when correctly positioned near their actual unit. They also grant minor combat bonuses.
Charlie, our landing craft has reached the beaches and we're about to disembark. Wish us luck. Able, if we can see artillery at location 2. Charlie, visual foxhole, don't move until the barrage lets up.
We need to silence those guns. Tell Able to move to the nearby hill. Able. Move to location 2.
Able, roger. Moving to location 2. Able, artillery in range. Time for some payback.
Units fight when in attack range. Each unit also has health defense and morale. Lucky for us, artillery doesn't fight back against nearby enemies.
Enemy artillery battery is out of commission. until our tank is landed. Able here. We spotted infantry. Akila Bataya.
Akla Batai holds a dominant position overlooking a bridge and is vital to cutting off enemy reinforcements. Move Able to Arkla Batai. Let's see if it recognizes me saying Arkla Batai. Able. Move to Arkla Batai. Location 1.
Able here. Moving out to Akila Bataya. They'll be expecting us.
This time, the enemies are shooting back. Morale decreases when fighting. The defense negates and comes
Spread out and advance.
The enemy has defense heading into town. This is not a good position. I think we're gonna have to. Abel's gonna retreat if we can. Don't I have artillery? What time is it supposed to be?
Move this! I'm not dying for king and country!
Unfortunately, Abel's morale hit 0, causing a panicky retreat. He must recover and regroup before receiving orders again. We need more troops. The briefing clipboard lists available reserve units. Deploy reserve infantry.
Here's reserve infantry coming right up. Infantry, company, reporting in the call sign Baker. We're at Charlie 11. Boots on the ground, win wars. Baker here. We're here at y'all. 10.
To defeat entrenched enemies, we must flank and surround the town. Now that Abel's regrouped, order both Able and Baker to Arkla Batai simultaneously. Able. Baker. Move to location 1.
Baker here. Preparing to assault. Akila Batai. Thought I got infantry. At Akila Batai. Baker here. Streets are covered in MGs. Use the back alley.
Always attack from multiple directions. Good advice.
Able here. Enemy infantry company is pulling out. Baker here. We captured Akila Batai. Charlie here. Damn it. Half our tanks are landed, but the tread can't get traction on these damn beaches. We need more time.
Beach landings are going poorly, but we have our own problems. Enemy reinforcements are on their way. We must defend both roads. Order Baker to move to the left of the south bridge. Baker, move to Hotel 10.
Baker here. Headed to Hotel 10.
I guess, yeah, here we go. Grid system. Able, Baker, dig in.
Here, Foxholes coming right up.
Foxholes provide defense. It's a good idea to fortify strategic locations. We have some spare time while I dig. Why not read the officer manual while waiting? Roads. Major movement bonus. Partially ignores penalty. Going uphill. Reorients lost units. Towns. Major defense bonus. Reorients lost units. Airfields. Defense bonus. Major vision bonus. Reorients lost units. Minor defense and camouflage bonus. Forests. Minor speed penalty. Units can get lost. Minefields. Major defense penalty. Units take significant damage. Engineers automatically clear your minefields when entered. Swamps, major defense penalty. Minor attack. Mine earth.
Bakersfield, we're done digging. Give it a break. HQ here. Enemy reinforcements are arriving from the south. Panthers? There weren't supposed to be any Panthers here. Can't let them reach the beaches, or it'll be even more of a hassle.
Do our boys have anti-tank?
Able here. Got a visual on deck. At Lima. Thanks to oblivious to us. Head to the crib. Able here. Enemy hands. Shelling off. Enemy! In the tree line! Aim for the muzzle flashes!
This is not going well. Should we... I don't know if we have a choice. Baker looks like it's going to fall back no matter what.
Baker, speak up! Fall back! HQ here. Locals are claiming enemy troops have moved into Al-Swabbatai.
Able. Report status. Not responding. Able. Report status. Baker. Report status.
Charlie, enemy tanks are overrunning the beachhead. We gotta pull back. Get as many wounded enemies as we can. Get back to the boat. HQ here. All units are to withdraw. Destroyers will provide supporting fire to cover your retreat. Naval guns of the HMCS Saskatchewan here. You can call us, talk. Let's get to work.
Fox. Fire barrage at Juliet 3.
Fox here. Raining thunder down on Juliet 3. Fox here. Forward observers report that fire mission was successful.
Fox. Fire barrage at India 4.
Fox here. Roger. Dropping shells on India 4. Fox here. That was a hit. Keep those coordinates coming.
Apple. Report status. No.
Charlie here. Can't delay any longer. The ship is pulling out. We gotta help first. Charlie here. You got the better of us this time. We'll be back, though. HQ here. We're done here. Unit leaders report for debriefing.
Damn. Heavy stuff.
Fox here. We'll have to give these guns a thorough cleaning after they cool down.
A loss, but the war continues. Soldiers under their command have been killed, and their families must be notified. It may provide some comfort if you were to write directly to these families. KIA. Attention, Mrs. Wilson. Corporal Arnold Wilson was killed in the line of duty, valiantly holding the line, allowing his fellow soldiers to fall back in the face of overwhelming enemy firepower. Testing Fortress Europe. Dieppe was a disaster for the Canadians. More Canadians would be captured in the Dieppe raid than would be for the entire 1944 to 1945 Northwest Europe campaign. A lack of understanding of beach conditions and overestimating the power of surprise tank assaults led to a costly defeat, with fewer than half of the Canadians returning to Britain. The lessons learned from Dieppe would be imperative in the success achieved on D-Day. The addition of heavy firepower support from aircraft and Navy, communication advances, and modifications to tanks and landing craft would make the difference. 6 months after Dieppe, the fanfare and smoke had cleared, and most media sources were very clear on the failure of the mission. This article is critical of the military reports of Dieppe's success, and cautioned a more measured approach. I'm not going to read the whole thing, I'm just going to leave it on screen and you can pause and read it if you want. The paper is a complete fabrication of the truth, since Dieppe's main goal was to give the Canadians action and to raise morale in Europe among the Allies. Even though the raid accomplished none of its military objectives, the papers were able to raise morale anyways. Dieppe proved a very important learning moment for the later staging of D-Day. Again, you can just pause and read it. I'm not reading the whole thing. But we will watch the newsreels.
Like all the rest of the Canadian Army, the 1st Army Tank Brigade is going to see these days. For combined ops is the order of the day, and no amount of training can be too great. There must be perfect cooperation with the Navy, and an understanding of the problems facing the men who bring the landing craft to the assault beaches. As the LCTs approach the beach, the ramps are lowered and the tanks prepare to move ashore.
So what kind of tanks they are?
These are Churchill,
Churchill.
the tanks that landed at Dieppe.
British heavy
In one
tanks.
glorious day of battle, they gained valuable experience that helped make the landing
No wonder
to
they
North
were able
Africa
to
successful.
negotiate the sand.
Dieppe was a great combined ops proving ground. And remember, Jerry, next time we go to stay.
Churchills were infamously heavy and slow, not very well suited to having to climb across sand. Oh, I can turn the light on and off. At the end of the Second World War, a Canadian brewery published this collection of illustrations as a tribute to French Canada's soldiers and the battles they fought. Beauvoir Farm, Casa Berardi, Bernières-sur-Mer, Hill 195, Dieppe, Itavaux, Angevy, the Normandy landings, Neuilly, San Martino, and Termoli. Dieppe has proved far more training is needed before we're ready to face the Germans again. Field exercises are performed under more realistic conditions where you can't see your units. Topics include units getting lost, reoriented, being out of communication, spotting and tagging enemies, radio channels, and artillery. I like how this game lists every single person under your command killed or missing. Killed 21. Let's see if we can recognize any names here. Ooh, that's rough. 2 guys named Evans. Probably related. A guy named Bennett. Oh wow, rip, I guess. September 3rd, 1942. Aldershot, England. You've finished tallying your casualties. You can view our casualty list at any time in the mission select screen. Welcome to Aldershot. Is that Georges Clemenceau? No. It's not Georges Clemenceau. I think he was dead by this point. Yes, it was Gamelin. General Gamelin shakes hands with the officers of the Royal Vandoos Regiment after he reviewed them at Aldershot. Royal Vandoos are the, one of these standing infantry regiments from Quebec. Named for the many alder trees in the area, Aldershot became the first permanent military training base for the British Army in 1854. This has facilitated rapid expansion and growth of the population in the area from about 875 in 1851 to 16,000 by 1861. During the First World War, it became Britain's largest army camp, with 20% of the British Army being based in and around the town. In the Second World War, about 330,000 Canadian troops passed through Aldershot for training, with additional units following afterwards. War Emergency Training Classes Certificate, Machine Fitting. The Youth Training Act of 1939 enacted the War Emergency Training Program to provide technical training for individuals in the armed services and war industries. War Emergency Training Classes Certificate, Machine Fitting to J. Oshaway, Windsor-Walkerville Vocational School. Unidentified radio operator and crew commander with a RAM tank of the A-33 Canadian Armour Corps. The Rams were, I don't remember if they ever saw combat, but they were initially designed to train Canadian crews on other tanks. Let me see if Rams ever saw combat. I'm gonna look this up. Ram tank. Never used in combat. Ontario. Lieutenant Colonel Foster M. Matheson, commanding officer, Regina Rifle Regiment, during a training exercise in South Africa. Private W.H. Morris for the Carleton and York Regiment holds a field wireless set, taking part in a training exercise prior to the invasion of Sicily. Gunners of the 5th Medium Regiment, Royal Canadian Artillery, taking part in an infantry training exercise. The UK War Office produced and issued a series of short training manuals used by both the British and Canadian armies. Collectively, these manuals established the doctrine or tactical procedures for both armies through the war. The 1944 manual and the tactics of small units reflected the experience gained in North Africa and Italy.
Got to be tough to take the new kind of war, and one of the jobs of the battle wing at CTS is to make the Canadian Army that way. The obstacle course plays its part in getting officers and men into prime condition, and it's no small part either. You can take it or leave it, but you can't leave it. You've just got to take it. Careful now, Joe, or you'll be caught with them down.
Like that pantsing joke at the end. Your briefing. Dieppe has proved far more training is needed. We've got the Princess Patricia Light Infantry Scouts and the Royal Canadian Artillery. And Royal Canadian Anti-Tank. Enemy strength, 1 infantry company, 1 tank squad. Advice. Baker was last seen on a road going through the western forest. Start mission.
Here. Affirmative. Moving into position.
Unlike the previous tutorial, you cannot see your units. You must ask them for their location over the radio.
Princess Patricia Light Infantry Scout, reporting for duty. Will be Able. I think we're lost.
Able's lost. Have Able report status. Able, report status.
Able here. We're lost, but we can see a road 1 kilometer south of us and a hill 1 kilometer northeast of us.
Let's see, a road a kilometer south and a hill northeast. Is that what he said? I think that's what he said. Let's see. Let's say they're there. Able. Report status.
Able here, we're lost, but we can see a road 1 kilometer south of us and a hill 1 kilometer northeast of us.
A hill 1 kilometer northeast. They're in the forest. I'm forgetting what the cardinal directions are. No, I don't think so. So, road to the south, hills to the northeast. Maybe here. Able. Move east.
Able here, we're not equipped to perform that action.
Oh, we're actually supposed to find it, I guess. Just move them around. Okay. I thought they were supposed to be in this forest. This is Able. Move south. Able. Move south.
Able here, Roger, heading to the south. We're not lost anymore. We're at Kilo 6.
Okay. They meant this huge ass hill. Baker, report status. Baker's radio must be broken. You will regain contact with Baker if a unit with working radios moves near them. Baker's last known location is mentioned on the intel report section of the Beaver. Oh! That's why I thought Able was in the forest, because Baker's in the forest. Baker was last seen on a road going through the western forest. Okay. Able, move to Gulf 4.
Able here, alright, heading to Grid Golf 4.
Baker's probably on the...
Baker, here, we have re-established contact with you thanks to a nearby friendly unit. We're at Foxtrot, hi.
We've regained contact with Baker. Baker is an artillery battery and can long-range barrages. Right-click on Baker's figurine and click Unit Stats to do more. Sight range 2 kilometers. Okay. Left-click and drag Able's figurine to Able's real position. Already done.
HQ here, informants have told us the enemy has captured location 1.
Able. Move to location 1.
Able here, Roger, heading to spotted infantry at location 1.
Baker. Fire barrage at location 1.
Baker, here, artillery firing at Juliet, go! Baker, here. I'm getting reports that did some real damage.
Able, move to location 1.
Able here. Form up. We're attacking location 1. Able here. Location 1 is ours now.
Able, move to location 3.
Able here, Roger. Moving to location 3.
Deploy reserve anti-tank guns. Anti-tank guns. Anti-tank guns. Anti-tank guns.
Here, deploying reserve anti-tank guns. Royal Canadian anti-tank guns. Reporting in this call sign, Charlie. We're at Foxtrot 3. Ready to knock out some pan... Able here. You can see tanks at Oscar 7, heading west. Charlie here. We are here at Hotel 4. Able here. Got a visual on there at Oscar 7, heading west.
Heading west. Okay, they're going to location 2. Charlie, move to location 2.
Charlie here. Still hold location 2 for ya. Able here. Got eyes on there at Juliet 7, heading west. Charlie here. Spotted there at Hotel 7. Panthers approaching town. Here they come.
Baker, target Hotel 7. Baker, fire barrage at Hotel 7.
Baker here. Coordinates confirmed. Fire barrage at Hotel 7. Baker here. We can see. Baker here. Observers report that barrage was a miss. Wiped out an entire infantry company. Charlie here. We're pushing back those Panthers. Charlie here. We lost visuals on there. They were last seen at Hotel 7. Able here. It's a full-blown rout. The enemy's all running.
Perfect.
HQ here. That's a wrap. Small units dig in and wait till relief. Able here. That was a battle? Our training missions were harder.
This is a training mission. What the fuck is he talking
Baker, here. Artillery battery still operational. Where's our next target? Charlie here. Got a light beating. Nothing too serious.
One person was killed. Tough training. War is utter chaos, and the idea of training is to give soldiers instinctual reactions in order to make them effective and preserve their lives. Infantrymen would learn down, crawl, observe, fire as a reactionary response when they came under enemy attack. Training also included desensitization training. Live ammunition and artillery were fired all around them. They were made to run obstacle courses littered with blood and animal entrails in order to accustom them to the sight of gore. Mock battles also featured live ammunition in order for the soldiers to take it more seriously. People sometimes got wounded or hospitalized. Soldiers were pushed well beyond their limits. The training would pay off, thankfully, as international armies fought alongside or against Canadians. Their resourceful, professional, and tenacious nature was well rewarded.
Schoolgirls from a nearby convent were the unofficial guests of a Canadian heavy ack-ack battery when they paid a visit to the gun sites and had a good look at the big guns that are keeping enemy raiders at a distance. The battery is situated in a residential district on the outskirts of London and has had pretty good luck against the Hun. The girls and their teachers know full well that these Canadian gunners have played a big part in protecting them. It was a big day for the little girls and a big day for the gunners, for they got a real kick out of showing their young guests just what makes the Nazis nervous.
Alright, we've completed the 1942 campaign. Now for the 1943 Operation Husky. Battle of Pacino. The Allies land in Sicily. The nearby airfield and towns must be taken, but friendly reinforcements are slow to arrive. Naval artillery support is used to beat off a large counterattack. I got something the German army can beat off right here. Welcome to Pacino. Location, Mediterranean coast, Sicily. Features, sunny and windy, many beaches, lots of fish, developed agriculture. The Canadians were greeted by a sunny expanse of beach in Pacino. With over 8 kilometers of beach, Pacino remains a popular tourist spot to the present day. It is known for its abundant fishing and agriculture, focusing on the production of tomatoes and wine. G.L. Ralston speaking to troops in Sicily. What is this? A separate section of the Fighting Forces Gun Card series, and the American World in Arms series on which it was based, was reserved for a hodgepodge of different weapons: flamethrowers, British death-dealing balloon barrage, landing Russian air infantry, the new Garand automatic rifle, British portable steel air raid shelter, gas raid rescue squad, stream of torpedoes, devastating Martin Barlow aerial bomb. A separate section of the Fighting Forces card series, same description. Canadians in Sicily. Each mission requires you to fill unit slots. Left-click and drag units to unfill slots. Read the briefing and pick the right units for the job. The invasion of Sicily has begun. The Canadians form the left flank of 5 British landings spread over 40 miles of shoreline. The landings are to take place near Pacino, close to the southern tip of the island. We must quickly push out from the beach and capture the village of Malpini, and then onto the nearby village of Pacino itself. Due to our surprise landing, initial enemy garrison units are likely under strength, and should be no match for our infantry. Hopefully we can overrun the garrisons before the 122nd Italian Coastal Infantry Regiment can muster a counterattack. You will be receiving naval gun support later in the day to beat off any counterattacks. Due to delays, we have only landed 1 infantry company at the moment. Additional infantry reinforcements should arrive within the next few hours. 300 to 700 enemy light infantry. Coastal divisions generally act as reserves unless they're poorly equipped and of lower morale. 1 company garrisoned at airfield, unknown if Pacino itself is garrisoned. Enemy reinforcements expected to come from the North Road. Take Malpini. Be cautious when approaching the airfield of Pacino. You may want to wait until reinforcements arrive. Remember to flank and surround enemies in defensive positions to minimize their defenses. Don't be shy of using your naval artillery support when you receive it. They have plenty of ammo. Higher movement speed. %30 damage. Unlucky events never happen. That's nice. Higher range, lower damage. Too far away? I disagree. Open fire. Don't waste any ammo. Okay, let's take the Hastings and Prince Edward Island. Let's go the Eager boys. Yeah, I want the eager and reinforcement because they can get up to the front quickly. And then for reserves, let's go aggressive Highlanders. Maybe.
Hastings and Prince Edward Infantry here. You can call us Able. We're at Foxtrot 9. Infantry, ready for the dirty work.
Okay. Colored pencils, you say? Okay. It says Able will come ashore approximately here. We can just move them to Mount Cheney. Wait for reinforcements at 2 p.m. And then once Mount Cheney is taken, attack simultaneously from Pacino and Mount Cheney. Guaranteeing we take the airfield. I don't know when our reserves become available, but enemy reinforcements are expected to come down the North Road here. So, if we deploy our reserves or capture Pacino Airfield quickly, we might be able to assault Pacino and then entrench it. How do I unselect this? Start mission.
Here, Roger. Mission is a go.
Able, report status.
Able here. We're at Foxtrot 9.
We're still coming ashore. Able, move to Foxtrot 7.
Able here. Moving to Grand Foxtrot 7. Able here. We're here at Foxtrot 7.
Able, move to location 2.
Able here. You can count on us to capture Tancini. Able here. Planting the flag at Tancini.
Okay. Able, dig in.
Able here. Got eyes on infantry at India. 5. Heading right for us. Able here. Don't let them into town. Keep that perimeter intact. Highlanders infantry reporting for duty. Will be Baker. We're at Charlie. 7 flight 2. We infantry always get the short stick.
Baker, move to Echo 6.
Is that Alpha 6? It is. Able here. You left Alligator at Juliet 6. Heading east.
Heading east. Okay, assume Alligator's somewhere over here. Okay, let's deploy the reserve to hold Mount Cheney.
Baker here. You're here at Alpha 6.
Deploy reserve infantry.
HQ here, Reserve Infantry, coming right up. 48th Highlanders Infantry, reporting in this call sign, Charlie. We're at Kilo. Time. It always comes down to the infantry.
Charlie, move to location 2.
Charlie here. Roger, garrisoning Foxine.
Able, report status.
Able here, we're at Mancini.
Okay. Able, move to India 4.
Able here, Roger. Moving to India 4.
Baker, move to Foxtrot 4.
Baker here, all right. Heading to grid Foxtrot 4. Charlie here, we're here at Foxine.
Charlie, dig in.
Charlie here, take these boys, you might save your life.
Now we wait for our infantry to get to the position.
Baker here, you can see infantry and machine gun firing coming from that hangar. Swing wide around it. Baker here, we're engaged at Foxtrot 4. We're fighting infantry and Chino airfield. Everyone is still combat ready.
Able, move to location 3.
Able here, see that control tower at Machino airfield. I want it captured intact.
Hopefully that flanking attack works out.
Charlie, Able here, that's right. Run, you coward! Able here, got eyes on. There, at Machino airfield. It's under new management. Able here, you lost sight of. There, they were last seen at India 2, heading northeast.
Baker,
Baker here, you're here at Foxtrot 4.
Baker, move to location 3.
Baker here, setting up command post in the control tower at Machino airfield.
Able, move to location 3.
Able here, those hangars at Machino airfield look like a good defensive position. Baker here, we've arrived at Machino airfield.
Baker, move to location 1.
Baker here, form up. We're attacking Machino. Able here, we're here at Machino airfield.
Able, dig in.
Able here. Baker here, got a visual on. They're using that church as a base of fire. Keep moving forward.
Baker, fall back.
Baker here, grab the wounded and let's go. Baker here, everyone's calm down at India 3.
Baker, move to Pacino airfield.
Baker here, those hangars at Chino airfield A. Baker here, we've arrived at Chino airfield.
Baker, dig in.
Baker here, Foxhole's coming right up.
We're gonna wait for artillery before we attack again.
Able here, Foxholes are done. Let's get cozy. Baker here, we're done digging. Could use a break.
Charlie, move to Lima 6.
Charlie here, Lima 6. It is.
see where Alligator went. It says enemy reinforcements incoming from the north. Baker, report status.
Baker here. We are at the Chino Airfield. We have naval guns at the HMCS Saskatchewan here. You can call us Dog. No time like the present.
April, report status.
Able here. We are at the Chino Airfield.
Able, move to location 1.
Able here. Moving out to the Chino. They'll be expecting us.
Dog, fire on location 1. Fire barrage at location 1.
Are arriving from Big Dog here. Raining thunder down on Lima 4.
Charlie, move to location 1.
Charlie here. Stay frosty, everyone. Heading to the job. Able here. Right. Left. Right gun. Hold here and here. Able here. We're engaged at Juliet 3. And are supported by Charlie at Lima. Charlie here. An enemy infantry pulling out. Please launch this engagement! Charlie here. He's captured Makino.
Charlie, dig in.
Charlie here. Keep deployed if I see Baker here. They're attacking the airfield. Don't let him get into the outbuilding. Able here. Got a visual on Alligator at November 3. Got eyes on there at right. We spotted infantry at Kilo 1. Heading right for us.
Able, report position.
Formed a perimeter on the outskirts of town and are firing on approaching infantry.
Okay, Baker can take care of himself. Dog, fire at Hotel 2.
Dog, here's Roger. Dropping shells on Hotel 2. Baker here. There's more where that's come from. Baker here. We can no longer see. Dog here. Bombardment was on target. Wow. Able here. We've sent the last of our package. Charlie here. Get our light mortar online and start shelling that concentration. Able here. We last saw Alligator at Foxter 4. Heading southeast.
Dog, fire barrage at Lima 2.
Dog here. Artillery firing at Lima 2. Charlie here. At 9. Run, Howard.
I think that artillery chase.
Dog here. Forward observers report that fire mission was successful. Charlie here. Lost sight of. There. They were last seen at Oscar 4. Heading southeast. HQ here. Time's almost up. Remember your objectives. Charlie here. We last saw Bingo at Lima 1. Baker here. We last saw Cheetah and Hotel 1. Heading north.
I think we broke the Italian defenses, it's safe to say. Now we wait.
Able here. That's right. Run! The war won't last much longer with HQ here. Time is up and the operation is over. All units sign out. Able here took a few losses, but it could have been worse. Baker here. We took some losses, and we'll need some time to rest. Charlie here took a few losses, but it could have been worse.
Lost 36 men. 10% of our number. I'd say Baker was by far the most, did the most. your objectives were achieved. The 1st Canadian Infantry Division and the 1st Canadian Armored Brigade began the amphibious invasion of Sicily, Operation Husky. The mission went exceedingly well, as many Sicilians were tired of fighting. Those that did resist were quickly overwhelmed as the Canadians took control of Pacino's airport. Sicilian surrender followed willingly and en masse as German troops hastily fortified key strategic positions in order to fight a defensive retreat, a strategy which was repeatedly seen throughout the Italian campaign. Landing fairly easy for Canadian invaders, losses reported low, the Globe and Mail, 1943. Oklahoma native Claude Weaver joined the Royal Canadian Air Force, became an ace, was shot down in Italy, and escaped from a German prison camp. Leigh and Lois Smith War, Memory, and Popular Culture Research Collection, University of Western Ontario. I guess he joined the Air Force in order to fight the Germans before the Americans joined. In England, the Canadian Women's Army Corps was inoculated, then packed their bags at the docks, servicewomen on a ship. They disembark at a port in Italy, arrival at Canadian General HQ, Canadian Army Newsreel number 35.
Excitement is in the air around a certain CWAC barracks somewhere in England. A detachment is preparing to leave for the Mediterranean theater of war. The medical staff is having a field day. The girls are inoculated against every disease in the almanac, including the bite of the Italian wolf. You won't need your winter woolies, Private Smith. You're off to the sunny south. Tropicals will be the order of the day from now on. Join the Army and see the world. A summer cruise to the land of romance costs plenty of folding money in peacetime. Now you can make the trip on the government and draw Army pay to boot. A little thing like a lurking Jerry submarine just lends spice to the outing. From the happy faces of our CWACs as they come ashore, no hardships were suffered. They refused to confirm the rumor that the Sergeant Major served tea in their bunks every morning. At GHQ, the hand-picked contingent will relieve soldiers for frontline duty. A hearty welcome is extended to the Canadian Army girls who have traveled so far to carry on for victory.
Battle of Valgarnera. After a night march through ridges and mountains, one unit has become lost, and we have lost communication with another. Enemy panzers are on the way, and the town of Valgarnera must be taken before morning. July 17th, 1943, Valgarnera, Sicily. Oh, this is one of my favorite propaganda posters. Attack on all fronts. Army, factory, home front. Location, central Sicily. Hilly, above sea level, sulfur mine, thermal baths. Over 500 meters above sea level, Valgarnera would have made an impressive defensive position, offering both a stunning panoramic view and superior terrain advantage. The area had experienced rapid growth in the century preceding the war, the population tripling from 5,000 to 15,000 in the second half of the 19th century. This was due to the further development of agriculture and industry with advanced sulfur extraction and the production of wood products. These are, this is a funny tank. It's the M3 Lee/Grant, an American design. Lee if you're a southerner, Grant if you're a northerner. Kind of a goofy one. It was a stopgap tank design between the M2 medium, which was a bad tank, and the M4, arguably the best medium tank that the Allies had. The M3 was, did its job. It was serviceable, but if you look at a picture of it online, it is a goofy looking tank. It's got a massive artillery gun mounted in the hull rather than in the turret. The turret gun itself is quite small. The Financial Post. Background to victory in a year. There's a bunch of statistics. Periodic amendments were made to the Field Service Pocketbook, a kind of military manual typically carried by officers. This one concerned the proper use of radios in the field.
Of key importance to the success of armored divisions is the work done by the motorized infantry battalions. It is their job to keep the armor moving by seizing and mopping up centers of resistance and by consolidating and holding features taken by the armored units. With men and carriers moving across country at top speed to reach the point of attack, the Westminster regiments show just what the job involves. This Westminster assault symbolizes the spirit of attack which dominates the whole Canadian Army. It is an army which has played a long waiting game, but whose turn is close at hand. An army highly trained and highly skilled, ready, willing and able to tackle the big job that lies ahead.
Exhausted units perform poorly. Understrength units are with fewer troops. Units not deployed on a mission get a chance to rest. Deployed units become veteran and gain specialization points that can be spent when examining that unit. These guys already have increased damage. They have decreased defense. Let's give them cover training. We've been given more infantry to use. Three Rivers tanks. I assume these are Quebecois tanks. From Trois-Rivières. Enemy strength, 1 infantry company, anti-tank guns, panzer reinforcements. These are German regulars we're fighting. Expect them to be the equal of our troops. Enemy positions. Infantry and enemy tanks at the... or infantry and anti-tank at crossroads. Our main objective is to hold Valganera and to hold the crossroads. We get victory points for causing casualties, lose them for taking casualties. First, rally your lost net of communication units, then clear the crossroads, or send all units to take Valganera. Position infantry in towns and on high terrain when fighting tanks. Remember to flank them. Trigger-happy, sneaky, wily. Zealous, the Royal Vandoos. Refuses player retreat orders. That could be a problem. These guys are perfect for ambushing. Pretty severe damage penalty, I don't want to risk.
Infantry company reporting for duty. We'll be able. Someone find us? Someone dropped the map.
Confusion reigns tonight. Able is lost. Lost units can be reoriented if they arrive at a road or landmark. We also lost communication with Baker. Circled on the map is Baker's last known position. Move a unit closer to Baker. establish contact. Any intel on Abel's position? Okay. Let's just get started. Start mission.
Yes, right away, sir. Starting operation.
Abel, report position. Report status.
Able here. We're lost, but we can see a road 1 kilometer north of us.
Head north. Abel, head north.
Able here. Moving north. Able here. Oh, that's where we are. We're at Juliet 6.
Abel, move to Mike 8.
Able here. Heading to Mike 8.
We have 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes, until the German tanks attack. Deploy reserve infantry.
HQ here. Deploying reserve infantry. Princess Patricia, light infantry. Reporting in the Baker here. Boy, are we glad to see you guys. Here at November 7th.
Easy. Report status.
Easy here for us, but we can see a road 1 km north of us.
Easy. Move north.
Easy here, got it. Moving north. Easy here, we're not lost anymore. We're at India 6.
Abel, move to Charlie 8.
Able here, Roger, moving to Charlie 8.
Baker, move to Juliet 6. Baker, move to Juliet 6. Juliet 6.
Baker here, alright. Heading to grid.
Baker, move to Juliet 6.
Baker here, headed to Juliet 6.
Damn, that was hard to do. Easy, move to Golf 6.
Easy here, moving to grid Golf 6.
Abel, report location.
Able here, we're at India 6. We're en route to Charlie 8.
Abel, hold position.
Able here, call us stop. Easy here, we're here at Golf 6.
Abel, easy, move to location 2.
Easy here, count on us to capture Crossroads. Protecting us. Get the cover! Easy here, get down! We're being shelled from an unknown position. Able here, get them in parade and MC fire on them.
With 2 companies, we should be able to overwhelm. Baker, report location.
Baker here, we're at Kilo 5 on our way to Juliet 6. Baker here, we've arrived at Juliet 6. Able here, half the unit's been wiped out.
Is that the Vandoos? Shit, they won't retreat.
Able here, get down! Moving! Not open this way! Easy here, do our team. Getting on a gun.
Easy and Able retreated. Shit. Okay, looks like we're not taking Crossroads anytime soon. Able, report status.
Able here, we're engaged at Echo 6. In combat against Alligator at Crossroads. It's no good! It's no good! Easy here. I think that's everyone. We've assembled that. Golf 6. Able here. Enemy infantry company is calling out.
Holy shit, they did it.
Able here. Got a visual on. Rifle. Try to Finding the allies in position.
Easy, report status.
Easy. Let's kill that flag!
I don't think I can commit easy.
Royal Winnipeg Rifle. Infantry, company, here! You can call us Charlie. If someone comes find us, someone drops the map.
Abel, report status. I think the Vandoos were wiped out. That's rough. Charlie, report status.
Charlie, here! We're lost, but we can see us. Road 1 a.m. north of us.
Charlie, move north.
Charlie, here! Roger, heading to the north. Charlie, here! Oh, so that's where we are! We're at India. Hey!
Easy, move to Hotel 4. Charlie, move to Location 1. Baker, move to Location 1.
Baker here, moving out to Guamera. They'll be expecting us. Baker here, the unit, the cover, then Easy here. Got the cover! Where are those shells coming from?
We can't capture those crossroads.
Easy here. Lost visuals on Alligator. They were last seen at North 3, heading north east.
Charlie, report status.
Charlie here. We're at India. Baker here. Guamera is ours now.
Baker, dig in.
Baker here. The streets are towering in machine guns. We've started mouse-holing our movement to building.
We need to... Easy, hold position. Easy, report status.
Easy here. Everyone hold up.
Easy, move to Location 1.
Easy here. Roger. You're exiting Guamera.
This is not going well. Charlie, move to Lima 5.
Charlie here. Moving to grid Lima 5.
Baker, report status.
Baker here. We're engaged at Guamera. We're fighting. We've won this engagement.
Alligator's falling back. Easy, move to Lima 4.
Easy here. Roger. Moving to Lima 4.
Easy, report location.
Easy here. You're at India 5. We're headed to Lima 4.
Charlie, report location.
Charlie here. We're at Kilo 6. We're en route to Lima 5.
Baker, dig in.
Baker here. Fox coming right up.
Charlie, dig in.
Charlie, easy here. It walks right into our area. Way into them.
Easy, report status.
You're firing upon tanks. That's my spot. We're taking a beating out here.
Charlie, report status.
Charlie here. We're engaged at Kilo 5. Assisted by Easy. We also have reports of enemy Cheetah at Flight 5. Baker here. Got a visual on Alligator at Hotel 2. Heading right for us. Easy here. We're getting hammered out here. Charlie here. We spotted Cheetah at Flight 5. Easy here. We got so many. Pull back. Charlie here. Running close to half strength.
Charlie, retreat.
Charlie here. Infantry pulling out. Baker here. Hope these foxholes are enough to keep us alive. Easy here. Everyone shut up and calm down. Charlie here. Brigadier Ambush. Fire at will.
Easy. Report location.
Easy here. You're at Juliet 6. Charlie here. Keep your head down. Stay away from the windows. Thanks for shelling us.
Easy. Move to Lima 4.
Charlie here. We're getting slaughtered out here. Charlie here. Everyone calm down at all. Five. Baker here. We land zone. Navigator and go free. Enemy Panthers falling back.
Okay, we at least held Belgrade.
Baker here. We've lost visuals on Chica. They were last seen at Lima 3. Heading northeast.
Well, that was a disaster, but at least we accomplished our main objective.
Baker here. The operation's nearly over. Charlie here! Now! Enemies in the open! Take them down! Squad. Shoot and communicate.
Easy. Move to location 1.
Easy here. Consider southwest. They're in the darkness here. Impossible! Easy here. Pick up a few buildings and set up some strong points. Charlie here. We've regrouped at India.
Charlie, dig in.
Grab your shovel, boy. We're digging here. The enemy's falling back on us. Looks like we won. HQ here. We're done here. Unit leaders report for debriefing. Baker here. We took some losses, and we'll need some time to rest. Charlie here. We took a real beating here, sir.
Jesus Christ, over half casualties. The Royal Vandoos were wiped out. Yikes. Due to the superior defensive position of Valgranera, this leg of Sicilian invasion proved tough for Canadian troops. The troops' climbing training was invaluable here, as many defensive obstacles would require the scaling of a cliff or a heavy climb in order to maneuver around enemy forces. So much so that the enemy referred to the Canadian forces as mountain boys, believing they were fighting heavily trained mountain troops.
The headmaster of this little red schoolhouse wears battle dress and 3 pips. He is the supervisor of the educational services which conduct classes in operational areas of the Italian front. All units are kept constantly up to date with the syllabus of available courses in a wide variety of subjects from chemistry to history. These are designed to prepare the men for their return to Civvy Street. In addition, correspondence courses and last-minute news bulletins are regularly compiled at field headquarters. A well-organized system of dispatch utilizing all existing means of communication takes this material rapidly to the men throughout the far-flung forces. In this way, lads on outpost duty are able to know what goes on in the outside world and carry on with the study of their chosen subjects while resting, momentarily, from the actual business of war. The school bell doesn't ring in an improvised seat of learning,
nor will teacher keep his pupils after school if they don't give the right answers. They are all keen to master even maths if it will help win the war. Setting up and conducting classes under difficult conditions, such as on an alert ack-ack post, is all in the day's work of these instructors who serve a large number of units. In future years, Canadian fighting men will have good cause to be grateful to the educational services. Other students in battle dress are studying grimmer problems. The immediate task of learning how to dislodge the enemy from his occupied positions in town. The Italian campaign has featured many actions where our infantry have had to force every inch of their advance by bitter house-to-house combat. In modern warfare, all details of an assault are worked out ahead of time. Experts in the art of annihilation teach all the tricks learned from the engagement with the enemy. Every fighting man is given the opportunity of explaining his own pet method of handling a difficult situation, and experience is gained by battle maneuvers. In this way, every detail is taken into account to speed the sweep of our united armies as they move ever forward toward the fortress of Europe and final victory.
Battle of Leonforte. A number of fortress towns must be captured. Linking these towns are windy, dusty roads littered with minefields. Use engineers, clear paths through minefields to enemy-held towns, and pound the defenders into submission with artillery. Welcome to Asoro, Leonforte, and Nisoria. 3 towns, Mount Asoro, centrally located, hilly, sunny, agriculture. 3 settlements are located in the province of Enna in Sicily. Completely landlocked, the province relies on agriculture as its main source of industry. The terrain is hilly and sunny, Mount Asoro being a central point. Gunner J.R. Walsh operating the gun sight of a 25-pounder gun of the 2nd Field Regiment. Dispatch rider Private H. McDowell of the 48th Highlanders of Canada delivering a message to the battalion's advanced headquarters. Infantrymen of the Hastings and Prince Edward Regiment in a universal carrier advancing on Nisoria. Nursing Sister Constance Brown of the Royal Canadian Army Medical Corps sitting in a Jeep Leonforte. Private F. Jones of the Royal Canadian Regiment repairing his motorcycle near Vitoletto, Italy.
When you see a dispatch rider of the Royal Canadian Army Service Corps riding his Harley-Davidson through a convoy as though born to the saddle, remember he has achieved this effortless skill in a hard school. At a training center in Canada, he lived for weeks on a bike. Starting out with simple road work, he is soon engaged in the rugged pastime of cross-country riding. The Service Corps hell drivers would rather ride than eat. Dodging landmines is just a preliminary to the real thing soon to be encountered overseas. Yet, you have to have cast iron nerves to be a DR in the RCASC.
Alright, let's give our boys some much-needed rewards here. Yeah, he definitely needs some more movement speed. Loses movement speed. The Royal Vandoos were wiped out to a man, although they still look like they're in my list of usable regiments. So I it could be worse. Next time they do that suicidal attack, let's make sure they succeed. 2 enemy strength, 200 to 400 light infantry. These troops are well trained and are the equal of ours. Do not underestimate them. Each town will be garrisoned. Enemies allowed to retreat back will augment the defense of remaining towns, making it harder at the end. Both roads and surrounding areas are heavily mined. Move forward with your engineers to clear minefields from the roads. They will automatically start clearing them. Tanks move extremely slowly uphill and on rough terrain, so stick to the roads. The enemy is well entrenched. You'll need to use combined arms to its utmost. Launch an artillery barrage while attacking head-on with tanks and flanking with infantry. Timid. Defensive. Yeah, we don't need our engineers fighting, so we're putting them there. Trois Rivières or Fort Garry horse tanks. This is damage. I like the sound of that. Let's put the Highlanders as our first reserve. And the other Highlanders is our second reserve. Put the Hastings Infantry for the reserve, and Royal Engineers as a last resort. Our next objectives are the fortified hill towns of Asoro, Leonforte, and Nesoria. Asoro features an ancient castle sitting atop a 1,000-foot cliff. Leonforte is a medieval town perched a high hillside overlooking the approaching roads. Expect the fortifications to be formidable. You will require tanks to take the towns. However, tank movement is restricted due to rough terrain. The area is also littered with minefields. Engineers can be used to clear mines from the roads. Have them move in front of your forces. Use your artillery to pound the undefended towns whilst attacking with both infantry and tanks. Leonforte is the main objective. However, it will be the most well defended. If it cannot be taken, instead take both Asoria and Nesoria. Remember, every objective is a human cost, and some are not worth pursuing. You do not need to achieve all objectives.
First Field Company engineers reporting for duty. Will be informed. We're at Papa 2. Need something built or blown up. Engineers got you covered.
Okay, so engineers will appear first. We need them to clear mines, so send them down these roads, clearing mines. We might spawn our second engineers, just to go down both roads, because I want the bottom road down here cleared of mines as well. So we're gonna have 2 units of infantry spawning in within 2 minutes. We'll send 1 unit to back up the northern engineers, the other to back up the south. And once the tanks arrive, we'll assault Asoro. Oh, that's not infantry. Sorry. That changes our plan. That's artillery. Okay. So engineers arrive first. Let's put in our reserve engineers and infantry as well. Send our reserve engineers south, which will be less defended. Our reserve infantry will follow south. Engineers will clear the way. The engineer company will clear the way for the infantry. Infantry and engineers will advance to India 8 and wait for the tanks to arrive. As soon as the artillery arrives, you will be shelling Asoro. Once the tanks arrive, they will move down the north road towards Asoro. Our reserve infantry and our tanks, along with the infantry, will spawn in at the 1-minute mark. Actually, our reserve infantry is tacking from the south. We can send our reserve infantry, our reinforcement infantry to India 1 Once they're here, they'll attack from the north, while the tanks attack down the north road. That plan makes the most sense to me. If we capture Asoro, then we can move on to Leonforte and Asora. We'll have 12 minutes at this point, I think, with one fresh infantry coming in at that point. We'll move our fresh infantry up. Whichever unit is damaged, we'll leave in Asoro, and they'll fortify. Once Asoro is captured, and these engineers down here will of course fortify Area 8 until reserve infantry is brought back down. With our engineers fortified, along with whatever infantry unit is weakest in Asoro, we should be able to hold the town. We will then move an infantry unit down here back to the engineers. The engineers and the infantry will move up the road towards Leonforte. Our second infantry unit will move down this road. Actually, I guess we'll need to bring the engineers for this. The engineers will not be able to dig in. So, infantry and engineers will move down this road. Infantry and engineers down this road as well. And we'll send the tanks this way as well. Infantry will... Let's say infantry fortifies here. Or no. We don't need the infantry to fortify. The engineers have some fighting capability, so have them fortify facing this way towards the Soria. Then send the tanks south. Send the infantry to Bravo 7. And then attack Leonforte from the west, while our south infantry attacks from the east, and our tanks attack from the north through the road. Once Leonforte is captured, send an infantry unit to Echo 2 by way of Echo 5. Then, attack Nasoria with the infantry and the tanks moving up the road. Alright. This is my plan. One of the main faults of our previous operation, which I think has made it a disaster, was the fact that we didn't really have a plan, because we didn't know where our infantry were. Oh, we can't drink it. Does that make my vision blurry? It does make my vision blurry. Okay. I think this plan will work. Start mission.
You heard it, General. Move out!
First thing we're doing, deploying reserve. I'm taking no chances with this one. Deploy reserve. Deploy reserve infantry and engineers.
HQ here, reserve engineers, coming right up. Royal Canadian Engineers, reporting in as the call sign. George, we're at Papa. 2, we got shovels and we got mines. Ready for some dirty work.
Able, move to November 4.
Able here. Alright, heading to grid November 4.
George, move to November 6.
George here, heading to November 6.
Deploy reserve infantry.
HQ here, deploying reserve infantry. Hastings to Prince Edward Infantry, here. You can call us Fox. We're at Papa. 2 riflemen, ready to do our part.
Fox, move to November 4.
Fox here, moving to grid November 4. George here, we're here at November 6. Able here, we're here at November 4. Seaport Islanders Infantry, reporting for duty. We'll be Baker. We're at Papa 1. We're engine for a fight.
Baker, move to Lima 7.
Baker here. We're here at Lima 7. It is.
George, move to Lima 7.
George here. Roger, moving to Lima 7. Hold position, engineers! We've entered a hostile minefield. We'll start clearing it, but it'll take a while. And we walked through a damn minefield. Nobody move! Arrived at November 4.
Able, report location.
Able here. We're at November 4.
Able, move to Mike 5.
Able here. Alright. Heading to grid Mike 5. Able here. Alright, engineers. Spread out and start clearing this minefield. Royal Canadian Artillery. Reporting in as call sign. Charlie, we're at Papa 2. Weather forecast predicts heavy shelling for the enemy. North here. We've cleared the minefield. Awaiting orders.
George, move to Lima 7.
North here. A2. Lima 7. North here. We're here at Lima 7.
George, move to India 9.
North here. India 9. It is.
Baker, move to Lima 7.
Baker here. Roger. Moving to Lima 7. Able here. This is a mine-free zone.
Charlie, shell, location 3. Fire barrage at location 3.
Charlie here. Coordinates confirmed. Firing barrage at India 5. North here. We're here at India 9.
Baker, move to India 9.
Baker here. Headed to India 9.
Fox, move to Lima 1.
Fox here. Moving to grid Lima 1.
George, dig in.
North here. You got it. We'll build the sturdiest fortifications you've ever seen. Baker here. We've arrived at India 9.
Okay, our tanks are almost here. Fox still needs to get in position.
Three Rivers. Tanks here. You can call us Dog. We're at Papa 2. Tank squadron fueled up and ready to move out.
Dog, move to Mike 4.
Dog here. Mike 4. It is.
Fox, report location.
Fox here. We're at Lima 1.
Fox, move to India 1.
Fox here. Roger. Moving to India 1. Dog here. We've arrived at Mike 4.
Baker, move to India 7.
Baker here. Alright. Heading to India 7. North here. Fortifications are done. All for the lucky bastards who get to use them.
Fox, move to India 2.
Fox here. Headed to India 2. Baker here. We're here at India 7. Fox here. We've arrived at India 2.
Charlie, fire barrage at location 3.
Charlie here. Raining thunder down on India 5.
Dog, Fox, Baker, Fox. Move to location 3.
Fox here. Moving out to Florida. They'll be expecting us. First platoon, take left. Second platoon, maintain suppressive fire.
Charlie, fire barrage at location 3.
Enemy infantry company pulling out. West flag at
Charlie, move to Lima 5.
Charlie here, moving to grid Lima 5. Fox here, left alligator at Yawl 2, heading west.
Fox, report status. Fox, report status.
Fox here, we're at India 3, on our way to Asoro.
Baker, report status.
Baker here, we're at Asoro.
Dog, report status.
Dog here, we're at Asoro.
Okay. Let's move Able to Asoro.
Charlie here, we've arrived at Lima 5.
Okay. Baker, move to India 9.
Baker here, moving to grid India 9.
Fox, report location. Report location.
Fox here, we're at India 3, we're headed to Asoro. Fox here, left alligator at Yawl 2, heading west.
We'll assume Alligator moved to Nasoria.
Baker here, we've arrived at India 9.
Fox, report location.
Fox here, we're at India 4, we're en route to Asoro. 28 Highlanders infantry, reporting for duty. Will be easy. We're at Papa 4, the boys are ready.
Easy, move to Asoro. No, not Nasoria, Asoro. Location 3.
Easy here. We'll hold Asoro for ya.
I guess Fox has to climb up the steep side of the hill there. We should move Charlie to India 6. Charlie, move to India 6.
Charlie here, moving to grid India 6. Easy here. We've arrived at Asoro.
Able, move to location 3.
Able here, garrisoning Asoro. Fox here, we're here at Asoro.
Fox, dig in.
Fox here, Foxholes coming right up. Able here, we're here at Asoro. Charlie here, we've arrived at India 6.
Able, move to Foxtrot 5.
Able here, headed to Foxtrot 5.
Easy, head to Hotel 5.
Easy here, going to grid Hotel 5.
Dog, move to Hotel 5.
Dog here, Roger, moving to Hotel 5. Able here, got eyes on Alligator at Delta 6.
Charlie's fired 3 barrages. They have 8 left.
Able here, you can see Alligator at Delta 6. Dog here, we're here at Hotel 5. Dog here, walk over dog. Let's get cozy.
Okay. Alligator being there is a complication, but not an insurmountable one. Easy Dog. Easy Dog. Move to Echo 5.
Easy here, Echo 5, it is.
Charlie. Fire barrage at
Recited. Don't let them surround the column.
Echo 7.
Charlie here, unable to comply.
Charlie. Fire barrage at location 2.
Charlie, Able here is one of the engagement. Able here, you can see Alligator at Delta 6, and we are heading right for them. Charlie here, bombardment was on target.
Baker, move to Gulf 8.
Baker, roger. Moving to Gulf 8. Easy here. We left Tall, Alligator, and Tom 6. Heading west. Baker, we're here at Gulf 8. Dog here. Raddest, Echo 5.
Should we move the engineers forward? I think if we move the engineers to Foxtrot 8, we risk them getting under fire. Able, move to Charlie 5.
Able here. Alright. Heading to grid. We've started clearing the minefield. I want safe path. Marked out as soon as possible.
Oh, good thing we didn't move the infantry and tanks forward then. Actually, let's move George to Gulf 8. George, move to Gulf 8.
George here. Gulf 8. It is.
And then you can fall back to India 9.
George here. We're here at Gulf 8.
Okay, they didn't find a minefield. We have to wait for Able to finish clearing his mines.
Able here. We've cleared the minefield. Awaiting orders.
Able, head to Charlie 5.
Able here. Going to grid Charlie 5. Able here. Got a visual on Alligator and Charlie. Got eyes on infantry and Leon Forte.
Okay. Charlie, fire barrage at location 2. Charlie, fire barrage at location 2.
Charlie here. Artillery firing at Delta 7. Forward observers report that the fire mission was successful.
Easy. Move to Charlie 5.
Easy here. Headed to Charlie 5.
Dog, head to Charlie 5.
Dog here. Charlie 5. It is. Easy here. We're here at Charlie 5.
Easy. Move to Bravo 6.
Easy here. Alright. Dog here. Leading infantry. Gunners moving. Get those top machine guns firing.
Oh, Alligator went on the offensive.
We've spotted Alligator and Charlie 3.
Charlie, fire barrage at Charlie 3.
Charlie here. Coordinates confirmed. Oh, where that come from? Able here. Got a visual on Alligator and Victoria. Heading Charlie here. Barrage was off target. Please recheck your coordinates.
Easy. Report location.
Easy here. We're at Bravo 6.
Easy. Move to Charlie 8.
Easy here. Charlie 8. It is.
Baker, move to location 2.
Baker. Form up. We're attacking Leon Forte.
Dog, move to location 2.
Dog here, moving out to Leon Forte. They'll be expecting us. Baker, tanks in front. Infantry stay behind the tanks and fan out once we get to the path. Baker, this is the last of a path. Able here, shut up. Baker, Leon Forte is under new management. Able here, we've spotted here and Tom heading right for us. Dog here, we're engaged at Charlie 6. In combat again, there at Delta 4. We're fresh and able. Dog here, we're here at Leon Forte.
Easy. Report location.
Easy here, we're at Charlie 8.
Okay. Baker, report status.
Baker, we're at Leon Forte. Able here, we can no longer see. We here. Favor last seen at Echo 3, heading northeast.
Dog, head to Charlie 5.
Dog here, headed to Charlie 5.
Baker, head to Echo 5.
Baker here, moving to grid Alpha 5.
Baker, move to Echo 5.
Baker here, Roger, moving to Echo 5.
Easy. Report location.
Easy here, we're at Tom 8.
Easy. Move to location 2.
Easy here, Roger, heading to Leon Forte. Dog here, we're here at Charlie 5. Baker here, we've arrived at Echo 5.
Baker, move to Echo 2.
Baker here, Roger. Moving
No,
to
Baker,
Alpha.
move to Echo 2. Echo 2.
Baker here, alright, heading to Echo 2.
Dog, head to location 1.
Dog here, preparing to assault Historia.
Charlie, fire barrage at location 1.
Gun telling enemy positions in town.
Charlie, fire barrage at location 1.
Charlie here, right able here. That's the last we'll see of those enemy. Charlie here, we completely able here. We wiped out an entire infantry. It's you here, time's almost able here. That's right. Run, you coward. Not I. Charlie here. That was a hit. Keep those coordinates coming.
Baker, report location.
Baker here. We're at Delta 3. On our way to Dog here to capture Historia. Able here. I don't see any of them moving. I think those enemy infantry are toast. Able here. That's the last we'll see of those enemy infantry. Baker here. We last saw Tita at Echo 1, heading east.
Okay. Easy, dig in.
Easy here. Take these, boys. It might save your life.
Baker, move to location 1.
Baker here. We'll hold Victoria. For ya. Baker here. We've arrived at Victoria.
Baker, dig in.
Baker here. Grab your shovels, boys. We're digging in.
I think we won. Handily.
We're done digging. Could use a break. Able here. It's a full-blown route. The enemy is all running. HQ here. That's a wrap. All units dig in and wait till relief. Able here. Got a light beating. Nothing too serious. Baker here. That was a tough battle, but we're still combat ready. Charlie here. Artillery battery still operational. Where's our next target?
Stunning victory. 11% casualties, 16 killed, 9 missing, 36 wounded. 57,327 rounds fired. 78% of the enemy force wiped out. Did Able assault the town? I don't know why they did that. Casualty report. 146 KIA, 35 missing. Battle of Leon Forte. Battle of Valgranara, 99 killed. Holy crap. Colonel Leonard J. Tupper of the Little Edmonton Regiment, who received the Military Medal for his actions near Leon Forte. War correspondent Ross Monroe of the Canadian Press typing a story in the battle area between Valgranara and Leon Forte. The Canadians were advancing northward from their victory at Valganera when they encountered heavy resistance due to the defensive positioning at Mount Tesoro. Mount Tesoro is a cuesta, a large hill with one steep slope and one gentle slope, which is absolutely ideal for defensive positioning. With the summit at roughly 900 meters, the Allied forces had to disrupt the German position atop the mountain, as the enemy artillery was able to strike units over 6 kilometers away, making Allied movement futile during daylight. Massoria played a supporting role, allowing supply lines to the German defenders, as well as a defensive location to retreat to. Sicily battle comes to an end after 38 days. Private R.E. Hill, preparing his universal carrier, Catania, Italy. Oh, I forgot to click the tape. Okay. We've completed the Sicily campaign. And next episode, we'll pick up again with the 1943 to 44 Italy campaign as we prepare for D-Day.